Happy Monday. I'm Chantay. I'm here with my daily analysis, my weekday analysis that's normal on this Monday, July 27th, 2020. There's some things to impact. It's not a big, huge day. It's a somber day. Somber, hot summer day. So I hope all is well. So let's get to it. So coronavirus is always going to be the first topic on my list because why? We're still in the midst of this pandemic. So here we have it. As of today, according to the Johns Hopkins website, hey Joseph, globally we are sitting at 16,407,310. Yesterday we was at 16,199,000. So this jump from 16,407,310 cases of COVID, that's a lot. Here in the U.S., we account for a fourth of those cases. So here we have 4,287,974. That's a lot. We reached 4 million this past week, and we were already at almost 4.3. That's some serious business. Hey, cousin, how are you? The number of deaths is at 148,009. Yesterday was at 146. The late 146,000s. Today we have 148,009. So we had over 1,000 deaths. Yes. This past 24 hours. Now countries with the what's up, cousin? The countries with the most cases besides the U.S. We have Brazil at 2,442,375, followed by India at 1,435,453, Russia at 816,680, South Africa at 452,529. That is insane. Mexico at 395,489, Peru at 375,961, Chile at 347,925. I don't know what's going on with the South America. And the UK, which they climbed back up in their cases again at 301,706. Now in the Latin countries, Colombia is at 248,976, followed by Ecuador at 161,000. Dominican Republic, 64,156. No wonder why Haiti's still in 1,000 cases, because they're right next to them. Panama is at 61,442. Guatemala at 45,309. Honduras at 39,279. El Salvador 15,135. Keep in mind, I'm not saying the one whole 188 countries. I'm just saying about like 30 of them at least. Nigeria, which is in the African nations, 41,180. Ghana, 33,624. Yeah. And the crazy part is DR has more cases, over 50-something thousand more cases than Haiti. Cameroon, 17,110. Kenya, 17,975. Senegal, 9,764, and Gambia 326. Haiti 7,315. Jamaica 842. Don't know what's going on with Jamaica. Or do they have tourists? I don't know what's going on. Bahamas 382. Guyana 370. Trinidad and Tobago 148. Barbados 110. Antigua 86. St. Vincent 52. Belize 48, St. Lucia 24, Grenada still remains at 23, while Dominica still remains at 18, and St. Kitts still remain at 17 cases. That's something in my teeth. Here we go. Now, the U.S. numbers per state, according to the New York Times COVID map, because on the Johns Hopkins website, I can't get it per state. It only goes by each county, and I want what states have. So here we are. California has 466,790. They're close to the 500,000 mark. Followed by Florida, who has surpassed New York as of yesterday at 432,739, and they went up by 9 cases. Yesterday, they was at 423. Today, they're at 432,000. A little over, almost at 433,000. New York, 417,056. Keep in mind, here in New York, oh, wow, I didn't know that was going on in Ghana. They're locking up people if they think they're sick. They need to solve they need a shelter-in-place fucking problem. Order. Back to New York. New York is, once again, 417,056. Here in New York, I live in New York City, particularly. So we are flattening our curve, even though we had the most cases. Now we're at the third of those cases, and we are not reopening in full capacity. We only reopening at 50% and less, more so 25% to 33%. In stores, restaurants are outside eating, especially in New York City, particularly because we are a dense area. We are the city that is very close to the Atlantic Ocean. We had airports, so the fact that we're crowded too, that's why everything's not opened up in full capacity, and I think that's great. And schools don't need to open, but that's a whole nother subject that I'm going to get into. Texas, 401,566. They are right next to New York. Like I said, I won't be surprised. I will not be surprised if Texas surpass New York by the end of this week. I won't be surprised. New Jersey, 181,732. Illinois, 174,442. Georgia, 155,907. North Carolina, 114,616. Louisiana, 110,029. And South Carolina, 82,417. I hope my cousin heard that. I don't know what's going on in South Carolina, but the COVID outbreak there is crazy. And back to the Johns Hopkins website, per county states, Los Angeles have 174,017 cases. Maricopa, 108,677. Cook County, 102,583. Miami-Dade County, 104,755. Miami-Dade County actually surpassed Cook County. And Queens, 66,877. And of course, like I said, there's no national mass testing. There's no plan. But according to the NPR article, the Republicans are rolling out a new pandemic relief bill, which Democrats are looking like, what the hell? So Republicans unveiled their new 5th round of relief package and their COVID-19 package. And includes in their bill is, the name of their bill, is Health Economic Assistance, Liability Protection, and Schools Act, which is HEALS Act. And the new round includes a new round of one-time direct payments of $1,200, which a lot of people has not received yet. Additional wages for unemployment Americans, which is going to be reduced to $200 per week. That extra $600, we're going to deconstruct that. Money for school reopening, new legal protections for business against pandemic lawsuits, design and build a new Washington, D.C. headquarters for the FBI. Mitch McConnell does not support extending the current $600 unemployment benefits, saying we have to do it in a way that does not slow down reopening. He also claims that the money for COVID testing will be included in this bill, as well as the additional loans to small businesses for legal protections and for healthcare workers and businesses. But of course, Senate Minority Leader, my Senator Chuck Schumer, ain't going for that bullshit. So he said it's a weak tea. That bill is weak tea and it's too little too late. And also said that he feels that the GOP and the big money donors, he said they fears about big money donors and who are opposing not helping people, the average people, which is true. I mean, to think about it, this whole GOP bill is bullshit. They're trying to compete with the HEROES Act, which the HERO Act includes a second round of stimulus checks, a student loan forgiveness, housing and food assistance, debt relief, 6 more months of COVID. Oh, thank you, Danilo. 6 more months of COVID unemployment benefits, $1 trillion added to local and state governments to pay their state workers, health care, and blase blase. Now, the HEROES Act, it's more beneficial to all Americans because it forgives student loans, like I just read. It gives people more money for unemployment who's still trying to look for work because we're in a bad recession. It's worse than when I was coming out of college back in 2008. It's that bad. And it might near into a depression if things do not if reopening is not solving the public health problem. To reopen, you have to solve the public health problem first. That means shelter in place. What New York has done for quite almost 3 months, we sheltered in place for quite a while. And honestly, to tell you the truth, it helped us in some shape or form. We didn't even reopen in full capacity, which is great. And there's other states. I think Jersey is another one. Connecticut, Massachusetts. We didn't open in full capacity, or even Rhode Island. The other places have opened in full capacity, and the odds of it's really dangerous because everybody's still crowding together. And even some folks here, even though we have not opened in full capacity, but there's some people that's still hugging each other and not wearing their mask here, right? I mean, mask wearing is important. And these Republicans have weaponized on the science of to wear a mask and to social distance. You have to wear a mask and social distance. I preach this, every night on my live because there are people in the 21 to 30 age group and the 31 to 40 age group that are getting sick from COVID and even dying. Like the vaccine, honestly, to me, a proper vaccine is not going to come until the next presidency, whoever regains the presidency. Like, this is really bad. Like, really bad. And for these Republicans to basically, with their their bill of reopening schools, no parent does not want to send their kid to school until there's a vaccine that has been tested and it has good positive reviews. We know in Oxford and London, they have a vaccine already. And their vaccine, honestly, is working. But of course, Donald Trump has messed up relationships with our foreign allies to the point that we can't even get that assistance. We're supposed to be the USA is supposed to be the leading country when it comes to science. And we can't even do that because we have a man in the White House who undermines the science, who undermines every bit of progress. He eliminated the pandemic response team that was created under the Obama administration once they handled the second pandemic that could have been crazy, which was Ebola. I mean, this here to build a COVID relief bill, to build a new FBI bill. What does that have to do with the average American person that is actually getting sick from COVID-19? It makes no goddamn sense. Any economic experts will say, like, huh? You have physicians in a Hill opinion article saying that the HEROES Act will actually help more because it also invests money into more testing. So to think about it, I mean, it makes proper sense. I'm not an economics expert, but I have a degree in business administration. I have a background in accounting, but I also took management classes, marketing classes, economic classes. And economics is everything that we're around, right? Economics also involve health, because without the proper health care and the tools, you'll be screwed. You need money to invest in PPE, in equipment, in vaccine, and mass production of things you need. People say Democrats are not fighting. That's what the Democrats proposed in the HEROES Act. But I wish they need to step their game up and step to those Republicans and you need to scrap that bill and pass that HEROES Act that's on Mitch McConnell's desk. Liberal wish lists? No. It's what every American wants. Even a Trump supporter wants the shit that's in this HEROES Act bill. Just saying. So for these Republicans to put this bullshit thing that's in Trump's thing, and also to reopen schools and have no plan still. We're about to enter August. There's some states that's sending their kids back to school 2 to 3 weeks without a plan. Mark DeSantis, who now tops New York as the second highest cases of COVID, is going to send their kids back to school. He already has Disney World open and other businesses open. And you want to send kids back to school? Without a plan? Honestly, like I said, I've been living in a twilight zone for 3 years, but this is the most bizarre, the most dangerous, and craziest shit. My head hurts right now. It's insane. And Texas is next on the list to surpass New York, because they still got shit open. They just started wearing masks 2 or 3 weeks ago. Why was you not wearing masks in the beginning of March when all this stuff was happening? When New York was at their peak of COVID between the end of March into early April, why was y'all not wearing masks? Y'all don't have a dense area. Your COVID cases didn't come from Europe. I don't understand. You guys were so fast to open your states, Georgia, Florida, Texas, and I'm very shocked. Like I said, I'm very shocked at California, because the whole country followed California's lead in terms of sheltering in place. So for you guys to have about almost nearly 50 more thousand cases in New York, that's very telling. But enough with my rant, because I think I've been ranting and raving. Maybe because I'm just sick of this shit. Oh God, I'm sick of the bullshit with these Republicans. I've been sick of their bullshit since I was a little kid. I'm just sick of their shit even further. What's going on with my light? Hopefully it doesn't go out. Hold on for a second, people. What's going on with this light? There we go. So much better. My light was been going on weird, but anyhow, on to politics. So Herman Cain. For those who don't know who Herman Cain is, Herman Cain was the older black man that ran for president in 2012, presidential candidate, but he dropped out because of sexual assault allegations. Well, I'm pretty sure you heard in the news lately that he is tested positive for COVID-19 due to, going to the Tulsa rally in Oklahoma with no mask, sitting next to people, hugging people and shit. Keep in mind, he's a cancer survivor. He almost could have died. He only had a 30% chance of living. But the fact is that you went to a rally, a whole entire rally, knowing you're immune compromised with no mask. Oh, thank you, cousin. With no mask is insane. But according to the Sun, he is still hospitalized and still being treated for COVID-19 in an Atlanta hospital. See, these Republicans, like I said, they keep denying science. And even when it's affecting them, they still denying the science. Even Donald Trump's son, whose girlfriend, Kimberly Gofield, has COVID-19. And today, the National Security Advisor was tested positive for COVID-19. I want to do all the people in the National Security Council need to quarantine, self-quarantine. Because I'm pretty sure he affected a couple other folks in there. And as I said, and I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, I think Donald Trump has spread COVID to his employees. Because he still doesn't wear no mask in that White House. He goes out to public events wearing no mask. The only time you saw him with a mask on, honestly, when he went to Walter Reed, because they said he needs to put on a goddamn mask. And yet, term limits do need to happen. Presidential term limits are up to 8 years. That's why this election is important. So whoever sits out this election is a fucking idiot. Just saying. You're an idiot. And speaking of presidential elections, those who know me and probably gonna criticize me, I love me some Kamala Harris. I supported her during the primaries because I like what she said. And I also didn't want to support any other white person. So the simple fact is now she's being vetted as a VP with 3 other black women and like 2 other white women. No, 1 white woman and I think 1 Hispanic woman. But I don't know if Lujan is even a public figure. Today, Chris Dodds, one of the people in the Biden's VP vetting committee, said something in Politico saying that she had no remorse when she was asked about her exchange with Joe Biden. I mean, she wasn't wrong. See, my problem is with these whole older white establishment men in the Democratic Party and the Republican Party too. They feel like because you're a black person, you should not be challenging a white person. An older white man, to be exact. I say challenge them. And she did the right thing. She didn't say he was a racist. She didn't say he was a segregationist. She said that he worked with praised segregationists. He needed to retract that. And she was right. And of course, some of his allies are still mad. He's not mad, but some of his allies are still mad. But I wish Joe Biden will actually remove Chris Dodds, because Chris Dodds is a sexual assaulter. He sexually assaulted a waitress. Let's see. He had to resign because of the mortgage crisis, which he scammed. He was part of that scam, fraudulent thing. His buddies were locked up, got charged. Like, I don't understand. And it's not just him as part of that system. You got progressives on the left. Some of them are white. And then you got some that are black. That smears the shit out of Kamala. They want Barbara Lee. Because they really want Elizabeth Warren. But Elizabeth Warren is not resonating with black voters. She's just not. She couldn't do it in South Carolina. She can't. She's not doing it. Sorry. She's a good senator, but she's not doing it. And even if she was asked to be the VP, think about her position in the Senate where she's going to be replaced with a Republican. Ed Murphy's already running a tough re-election already for his seat. He's being primaried by the congressman. And on top of that, COVID started from a bat off the coast of China. And what happened, I guess, I don't know, the bat bit into a food, but it traveled to the human, and it went from human to human. And it spread it through Australia, spread it through India, spread it through London. It's in 188 countries. It has nothing to do with the government. The government did not plan a pandemic. A pandemic was said from back in 2005, it was coming. It was coming, it was coming. They didn't know what it was. People thought the H1N1 was going to come, and it didn't. I mean, it didn't affect us like that, nor the Ebola. That's why a pandemic response team was created. So we wouldn't have a big ass global pandemic as crazy as this. But when you have people like Donald Trump and his minions that don't know science, that's what happens. I hope that answers your question. You can also do research on COVID. Make sure you don't look up the conspiracy theories or the opinion articles. You need to look at actual science and know what they're doing. Because Bill Nye, the science guy, was on Joy Reid today, and he was actually very informative. That's how I always liked him as a kid. But back to this whole white establishment thing, what's going on. Because then you got people on the left, too, who, like, TYNT owner Shank, Olgar, whatever his last name is. You have people like The Intercept, the Jacobian, those people on the progressive left who are basically chiefs for blocking African American women to be VPs. They want to put up Nina Turner, but what has Nina Turner done for people? Barbara Lee's great, but Barbara Lee's 74 years old. And Barbara Lee don't want to be a VP. Karen Bass is popular right now as the chairwoman of the Congressional Black Caucus. I will not want her to lead that. She got to pass justice and policing first. And Susan Rice, for the last 18 million time, is not a politician. She is a career diplomat. A lifelong one since the Clinton administration. I would rather her see her as a Secretary of State or the UN ambassador again. Not a VP. And people keep saying, oh, Kamala Harris could be the AG. AG is actually a step below because the Attorney General right now is being supervised by the Senate. And who's on the Senate? Kamala Harris. And she sits in the Senate Judiciary Committee. And it's true. Very true. So, once again, this Chris Dadu, if I was Joe Biden, I would basically remove him from the vetting committee and just, because we all know who he wants for his VP. Now that Klobuchar is gone, we all know he wants Harris. But I can't claim it to existence. What I can just say is we just got to pray that it's a black woman. Not a white woman. A black woman. But ending on a lighter note, I saw a little bit of the John Lewis memorial service today. I didn't catch the part where Mitch McConnell was talking, and I'm glad I didn't because I probably would have got mad and throw something at my TV. But I heard it was a great service. He's going to be laying in the Capitol, where Rosa Parks and I believe is another black person, Elijah Cummings, are laying, which makes sense because John Lewis was a statesman. He was the original civil rights activist. He was the guy that fought for our rights so we can have those rights to vote. And now that he's gone, the best thing that Congress can do to honor him is to pass that Voting Rights Act. name on there. The John Lewis Voting Rights Act of 2020. And make it permanent. They actually should put it into law instead of just an act. Because your voting rights should not expire. That's all I'm saying. But to end it on a note, we're in this. This is a long ass summer. It's going to be a long ass year. Who knows what's going to go down. But thank you, cousin. Just vote, please. My God. Just vote. Let's just hope that a black woman gets picked as a VP. Let's just hope that one day that we'll be able to rejoice all together again. Let's just all just be hopeful. And stay blessed. And have a good night.